very warm welcome to you, sir, Dr. C.N. Manjunath. I now request Mr. Sudhindra Dankanikote to deliver the welcome address.
Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to come and attend this event today. We are very grateful to you for this. We have with us to inaugurate this event of the atmaParikshan brand of Swastha kiosk. Dr. Manjunath is there, Brigadier Sanjeev Chopra is there, Dr. Sachidanand is there, and Dr. Archana Jaidev is there. And I welcome them to the dais. Dr. Ramesh Makam will be joining us in a few minutes. He's on the way. And we'll start the event by lighting of the lamp, the ceremonial lighting of the lamp.
I now request Dr. C.N. Manjunath to launch the Swastha Health Station. Please, sir.
The launching will be by Dr. Manjunath measuring his vitals, standing on that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Sachidanand to please launch the hospital station, which is towards the left side. Request Mr. Uday Kumar Muthu to speak about the Swastha Health Station.
Good evening, guests. We are now going to present or probably let you know about what our products really are and how it can be helpful to general public. Swastha Technovations Pvt Ltd, a company which has a range of atmaParikshan products. Name atmaParikshan means it's very clear. Atma means self, Parikshan means test. So most of our products are self-serve products. Means you can yourself go to this machine, test yourself and take the report. And all these machines are non-invasive, so you don't need to have somebody guiding you or assisting you to use the machine. Number one, the first one is a BMI machine, which only two parameters is required. One is your age, another one is your gender. Once this is set up, it automatically takes your weight, it takes your height, and also it calculates BMI and other parameters and gives you the report as in about 5 to 10 seconds. The next one, the one you are having next to the blue machine, is a cardio machine. In this machine, it takes temperature, it takes your SpO2, it takes heart rate, it also gives you BP, and there are two leads which also gives you a ECG. This ECG is very helpful because you can understand the heart, how it is functioning at that particular point of time. And if there is any variation, any such thing, there is a camera connected to this machine. You can also have, connect to your cardiologist, and after that you can go for further procedure. Another model is there. That model is called Vahan. In this Vahan, we have almost around 23 types of different types of tests that happens. And this particular, all the 23 tests is mounted on a vehicle. That's the reason we call it as Vahan. It starts with all these tests, plus we also have rapids like thyroid, dengue, pregnancy test, and so on and so forth. Advantage of this particular thing is this Vahan can move from one station to another station, screen approximately around 30 to 40 patients minimum a day, and it can go to the next place. In a day, probably 2-3 places can be covered. Recently, we had done a camp in 2 locations. One is in Hosur, Sri Global Hospital. We were able to screen approximately around 300 patients in a matter of about 4 to 5 hours. Then we had the second. Then we had the second run. Then we had the second run in Kanakpura. Approximately 126 patients were screened in a matter of about 1.5 hours. So now we can understand how fast this machine is and how accurate the results are. In fact, the doctors and the nurses, they themselves came and tested on this machine to understand what kind of parameters we give and what is the BMI rate, and especially with the BP. Normally, what happens is in BP, this particular information Dr. Manjunath told us when he visited us. Many times they will not be able to test BP because sometimes people are so obese they will not be able to put that cuff. So it's impossible for them to get the BP. Whereas in our particular machine, we use only 2 fingers. So with the help of fingers, we are able to understand how is the BP, whether the BP is high, normal, low, anything. So that way, this particular machine is helpful for many, with when the BP is not able to be easily accessible to them. And even coming to the ECG also, sometimes you don't need 12 leads, but normally we have 2 options. One is the fitness option where you have only 2 leads. Another one is the regular normal ECG, we have 12 leads. Once we come to know there is little difference in 2 leads, then we go to the 12 leads one, then so that we get the entire ECG as per the normal report. So if you have any questions on any of these products, do let us know. We will be able to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for that information. I now call upon Dr. C.R. Balaji to speak about the Swastha hospital station and the Swastha sanitary pad dispenser.
Good evening. Just a correction, I'm not a doctor, I'm an engineer. The doctors are all here and we've got their blessings. Firstly, thank you all for coming and joining us. It's been, I know, a lot of traffic and trouble that you have taken to join us, so thank you so much. I'll quickly talk about the product on to my left, which is probably to your right. That is the patient registration system. In this system, a patient, when he goes to a hospital, he can use a self-service mode, use this machine, enter his details of the name, age, and gender, and which doctor he wants to consult, etc. And then he can create what is known as an MR, which is a medical record in a hospital. And you can also make a payment over here. So there's a QR code which is there, so you can make the payments using this system. Once you register, it just takes about a minute or so or less to register. This machine can also be connected to a hospital information system. So it integrates with that system, which means, importantly, from a hospital perspective, we are not changing their processes. They're retaining their processes, using their own processes so that they don't have any discomfort with the change or new process. They can directly integrate and follow that system. The second feature, which I think is very useful, and I found it personally very useful, is to take reports, test reports. So fundamentally what happens is you'll register with a hospital, and then you'll do the consultation, and then the doctors will say, okay, carry out these tests. So you will go to different labs, carry out the tests, and then you'll have to go back to those labs to collect the reports. But what we have done is we have said that post those reports onto the hospital server itself. And then we integrate again with that server. So anytime you go to this machine, you will have a patient ID. And you just enter that ID, and all your reports is available to you. You can take a printout from this very machine, and all the reports can be generated. The advantage over here is, one is it's available at a single point. Number two, the most important point is it's available 24/7, which means that I don't have to go at 5 o'clock when that lab closes or something. I can go anytime at my convenience, take the report, and then go to the doctor for consultation. From the hospital side, there's also a lot of saving, because one is they don't need to have manpower waiting to give this reports. Second is they don't have to generate these reports and then keep it and then reprint it. So there's a lot of savings with regard to the amount of paper that is saved, and also the manpower that is required. So there is a lot of savings from the hospital side as well. So this is the patient registration system. There are features for the advanced model, like scheduling an appointment, etc., that is available as well. I think I'm also asked to talk a little bit about the pad. It's a fairly simple system. This is what you're seeing here is a sanitary pad dispensing machine. And I believe, and this is the feedback that I've got from many customers, that they have not seen this kind of a system anywhere. They have heard of a sanitary pad. Thank you. They've heard of a sanitary pad system tucked into the toilet. It's always inside the toilet, and the capacities are small, maybe 40, 50 pads or whatever. And invariably, they're coin operated, and many times the complaint that we have received is that pads are not there, padzilla. So it doesn't work, so it doesn't work. We launched this product with a couple of perspectives. One is we wanted to kind of break the myth and demystify this stigma around menstruation, and we thought that we should come up with a classy, world-class product which makes women comfortable. There is comfort and dignity for women when they use this machine. So when you see this machine and you take the pad, there's a lot of, and I think Madam showed the packaging. The packaging is also very creatively designed so that there is comfort for anyone. And interestingly, we found that it's not only the women who are comfortable, it is also the men, boys, husbands. Everybody is comfortable operating this machine, and hence we pulled this out of the toilet and put it right in the middle of public place where anybody could comfortably operate. Few features we have added is the screen that you're seeing is a 32-inch screen, so it can be used for educational purposes. It can be controlled remotely. The content of it can be managed and controlled remotely. You can have any content that you want. You can also use it for promotions and advertisements as well, so that it kind of becomes a self-sustaining process in managing dispensing sanitary pads. So this is the sanitary pad system. I'd just like to take a couple of more minutes with that. I just want to share, doctors, the vision that we have. You may be wondering why we have so many products. The thought process behind this is when a patient, let's say, goes to a hospital, he does the registration, then after that, there is this vitals which needs to be checked. So once he does that, he comes to the health ATM, as one would call it, or the vitals check. He checks the vitals. There are different models over here. What we are displaying here is the BMI and the cardio model. You have models for the gluco and spirometer as well. Those models are also available. So the patient would just do the registration, complete this exercise, and then immediately the results are available for the doctor to, consult and analyze what the problem is. And this entire process, we have timed it. It takes roughly about 225 seconds from patient registration to payment to BMI and cardio. That is the advantage which is there, and it's actually you don't need a trained nurse or a trained medical professional. It's just a simple self-serve process. Of course, initially there would be a need to guide patients because they'll say, "Yenido hostagide." So you'll have to guide them, so that initial guidance and support will be required by anyone. I mean, the front desk can do it. So there's a lot of support which the front desk can get, because they don't have to be crowded. Immediately, the nurse will be freed for better purposes, and the patient also has a great experience. And the number of patients that a hospital can see will drastically go up with this complete process. So this kind of is a space where we have been saying that this should be positioned in the outpatient preventive care, primary care center. I just want to close with one final thing. You may be wondering, this is just a sanitary pad system, but our goal and our vision is that this also helps in reducing RTI, which is reproductive tract infections. And that's one of our goals. While, yes, we want to dispense pads, but this whole cycle of products is aimed at, improving health and urging and nudging people towards preventive care. So that's the overall vision, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now call upon Dr. C.N. Manjunath to speak a few words to address the gathering.
Good evening. In fact, it's a great honor and privilege to really inaugurate the various artificial intelligence-driven health devices developed by Swastha Technovations Pvt Ltd. My hearty congratulations to all the engineers, technologists, and also those who have thought about all these things. We have today Brigadier Sanjeev Chopra, then Dr. Sachidanand, the former Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Dr. Archana Jaydev, she's a psychologist and a counselor, and also we have a cream of guests drawn from various fields. In fact, maybe 3 or maybe 4 decades back, used to watch a lot of movies. So, lot of imaginations were there in those movies. Moment you walk inside, when a hero walks inside, lights, there used to be lights. And sometimes they used to tell verbally, particularly in these, lot of villain-oriented movies. Moment you say, the door used to open. And sometimes, lot of magic. We all thought it's all magic and all. Today, that's what, under the science and technology, today they have become realities. So at that time, that thought process was there, that imagination was there. So because at that time, there was no remote in our hand, but still doors were opening automatically. In movies we have seen, and even lot of things were happening. So today, this Swastha Technovation has come out with various artificial-driven health devices. I think next 3 to 4 decades will be the decade of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So, what are the applications of these devices? In fact, I have gone to their office and I have spent a lot of time with them. Mr. Sudhindra, then Dr. Anil, then Balaji, and all those technical team interacted with that. So we have already it has been conveyed to all of you here. They have one Swastha health station, Swastha van, and it is most important. See, what is machine learning? What is deep learning? Whatever human brain used to think, whatever human brain was going to interpret or going to learn, the same machine is learning. So virtually it is replacing the human brain, but ultimately it is being managed and it is controlled and supervised by human brain only. See, it is controlled and it is managed, supervised by human brain only. So these particular devices will be of great help. Today, artificial intelligence has a great role to play. One is in healthcare, second is in agriculture, third is in e-commerce, even in NASA, for example, NASA United States, and robotics. So in all these things, artificial intelligence is going to play a pivotal role. But it all depends how much of information you have fed into the machine, and suppose because it's useful in making diagnosis, useful in interpreting laboratory results, particularly two important specialties where artificial intelligence is going to make a huge difference. One is cardiology, second is radiology. Because in the cardiology we have, we can have today with ECG, you can be able to predict, not only ECG gives a particular diagnosis, the moment you feed that ECG, through that ECG you can predict the heart function, you can also predict the pressures, what will be the air blood pressure, what will be the pressures in the arteries, and the pulmonary arteries, and so many things. So, and also ECG can also predict the outcome. See, today all these things we are talking about predictive medicine. That means you are predicting and risk stratification. One is for early diagnosis, it is going to be of help. And second one, yes, laboratory results, it can interpret, it can tell it is normal, abnormal. And third one, personalized healthcare, that is where it is going to help. Personalized, because today diabetes is not a disease, it is a disorder. You look at India, 14 crores are having diabetes. Another 14 crores are on the verge of diabetes, what is called pre-diabetics. Whether they are full-fledged diabetics, whether they are having pre-diabetes, cardiovascular risk, cerebrovascular risk, or even the kidney-related risk is same. Whether somebody can't say I'm only having pre-diabetes, borderline diabetes, I need not bother. Unfortunately, a pre-diabetic also has got an equal risk as that of a full-fledged diabetic. So, in all, 28 crores Indians are having, including diabetes and pre-diabetic. So, we need a lot of personal aid, because for every time you can't go to the doctor, of course, they are going to finalize the prescription, then it becomes a personalized care. So with all these devices, Swastha Meadow Innovation devices, see, on the other, in fact, I myself checked my heart rate, I checked my blood pressure. Of course, today they are not able to connect because of internet issues. So validation is the one thing which decides whether it is matching with the human tested parameters. So in fact, I really congratulate Swastha Techno Innovation for their wonderful validation. So virtually it matches to an extent of 99% accuracy. The accuracy of these devices with respect to heart rate, measurement of heart rate, blood pressure, and as well as, of course, height and weight. That's a simple thing. So this gives everything. It gives height, it gives body weight, it gives body mass index, the fat content, the muscle mass, everything. That's okay. But what I was impressed really is the other equipment, Swastha Health Station, where you just, on this, you keep both your thumb pressed, it gives your heart rate, it gives your blood pressure, and it gives your ECG. So it's extremely useful for mass screening of general population, Because today what is happening, 65% of deaths in India are due to non-communicable diseases. What are those six? I think about 6 to 7 non-communicable diseases account for 65% of deaths. Earlier, children used to bring parents for the treatment of all these diseases. Today what is happening, parents are bringing their children in the age group of 25 to 40 for the treatment of heart attack, blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, cancer, and chronic kidney disease. And sixth one is recently added screen addiction. Addicted to mobile phone, computers, iPads, tabs. So when the burden of the cardiovascular disease or burden of lifestyle disease is so high, it's not possible, humanly it is impossible to test the entire population or most of the population. This is where all these devices will going to be of help. You can keep these devices not only in the hospital, you can keep it even in railway station, or you can keep it even in airports, or even multi-storied apartments where about 5 to 10,000 people live in these apartments, or in even in colleges. So at least they know where they stand, because apparently one may look healthy, but there can be a lot of hidden problem. See, today 35% of deaths in India is due to heart attack and heart attack related disease. 35% of deaths in India. Unfortunately, 30% of heart attack is occurring below 40 years of age. So certainly this is all because of various risk factors. It's all because of change in the lifestyle, food habits have changed, food practices have changed, and because when we were medical student, age more than 65 used to be an independent risk factor for heart attack. Today, age more than 45 is age itself is a risk factor for heart attack. So in fact, we were actually, whenever we decide to marry our daughters, we always check the horoscope. So now a time has come, you have to check their health horoscope. You have to check their health horoscope, whether this young boy, the potential bridegroom has got blood pressure, whether he has got diabetes, or whether has something else. We have to check all those things. So today, your horoscope is not an astrological horoscope, so it is basically your health horoscope is very, very important. See, another 25% above the age of 40 are having high blood pressure. 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 are having high blood pressure. So because I think it's all happening because of extremely stressful lifestyle. See, this generation, what is happening, they are not happy because not that they don't have anything, they are unhappy because they feel others are happy. So, and they want to achieve too many things in a too short time. They don't believe in, they are going against the law of nature. You have to go step by step. They are taking multiple examinations in one time, what is called integrated courses. Same time, they say, I want to appear for this January, then February, I want to appear this. And also I think all these things, that is the reason age, because burden of these lifestyle diseases is so high in India, age more than 35 for men and age more than 45 for women, they should undergo a medical checkup anniversary, because we all celebrate wedding anniversary, we all celebrate birthdays. So a medical checkup anniversary is required going by the burden of, huge burden of cardiovascular disease as well as other, diabetes, hypertension. So this is a must actually. These are very useful, and also it reduces the waiting time in hospitals, because before going into a consultant's room, all these parameters can be checked: heart rate, blood pressure, they can be checked. And suppose if it is abnormal, then doctor can check once again. If it is normal, it's okay. If it is abnormal, they can check once again. And these devices today, particularly today, there are many areas who do not have consultants, who do not have specialists. So you can reach those areas where through using these equipments, and we can exchange information either through telemedicine system, or an app system, or a Bluetooth system. So anyway, but what I am telling is, these artificial intelligence driven equipment, they are not going to replace the human touch. They are not going to replace the doctor's final opinion, but they will be of great value addition in the whole evaluation, and reduces the waiting time, and also the patients also will be comfortable when they go for a checkup. Something has been done already. And one of the problem among our people is why they don't go for a routine checkup when they feel they are apparently healthy. They always think, by chance, if they have a disease, why to unnecessarily have that problem. Suppose if you undergo a checkup, if everything is normal, that is a great health promotion, that you feel that I am okay. So that okay factor, that feel good factor itself promotes your health. So many a time, problem is high blood pressure. I'm talking about high blood. How many patients we have seen? 240 by 120, they are apparently healthy, they don't have any symptoms. So in the beginning of an illness, particularly high blood pressure and diabetes, there may not be having symptoms. So some people keep arguing, no, even if I cut my finger, it heals very well. It okay in the beginning, no complications have set in. Beginning it happens. Even they may be having diabetes, wound healing can be faster. Over a period of time, complications will set up. And there are two types of blood pressure. One is when they go to the doctor's consultation, or we call it as office blood pressure. At office, blood pressure is high. When they go to the doctor, that we call it as white coat hypertension. 15 to 25% in India have got white coat hypertension. At home it is normal, but when they go to the doctor, it is high. Not because doctor's consultation is high, but it is a well-described entity. And another type of hypertension is called high blood pressure, is masked high blood pressure. At home it is high, when they go to office it is less. That means problem is at home. Very common. Very common? Okay. So that means there must be some heater at home. So we need to put air conditioners at home. So these are all well-described entities. See, problem is uncontrolled high blood pressure over a period of time results in lot of complication. They can cause heart attack, stroke, heart failure, chronic kidney disease. So that is the reason we need to really look at all these health parameters. Of course, it becomes a big lecture if I go on talking about the various cardiovascular disease, why so many risk factors. Another important thing, risk stratification is also artificial driven today. Say they are going to predict a particular individual, because you are having so many risk factors, when he is likely to develop a stroke, when he is likely to develop a heart attack, and when he is likely to develop a cancer. But again, we have to be very careful as far as predictive medicine is concerned. Sometimes it can cause depression, it can push them to the walls, and that itself can become a disease. So one has to, because India has a population of 140 crores, one need to balance between artificial intelligence system, and because you should not take away the jobs. That's also very, very important. And one has to really balance. But under Make in India project, a lot of startups, these are all because of Make in India product. So probably in India, in the last 5 years, more than 1 lakh startup, industries have come up. So Make in India has opened the floodgates for all these innovations, and that's how probably Make in India has also resulted in Work in India. Make in India has also resulted in Work in India, and it's a digital India, and also is a very skillful training. So definitely these devices, because any particular device which has got a highest predictive accuracy is the best device. So as far as this Swastha device, Swastha health station is concerned, then atmaParikshan. I think it is not testing Atma actually here, it is testing the body. Because I was seeing one of the movie clipping maybe about a week back. So in that, see, this is exactly what has happened, what you used to see in movies. There was a movie called Maya Bazaar we have in Kannada. So I think whatever we are seeing in reality, those things they were predicting early. No, for fun they were doing all those things, but it has become true. See, this one movie I saw, a comedy movie. So he has got that particular extra gifted thing. He can understand what others are thinking about you. So then he goes to a particular relative house, virtually they were scolding him. So he asked, no, you are all scolding me. But they were internally, they are scolding him. So he asked that special gift from the God. That's what, so today, so just to keep in a lighter vein, one AI-driven system was developed in Spain. That's what, I don't know whether it's true or whether it is just for a joke. That will identify whether a person is telling lies or not. If you go and stand on that machine, it will tell whether you are telling lies or not. So they have kept this machine in Spain, and in 1 hour, it has identified 20 people were telling lies. Then this machine was kept in America, 30 people were telling lies in an hour. Then this was moved to UK, then about 50 people were telling lies in UK. Then this machine was kept in India, machine itself was stolen. So, yeah, Dr. Ramesh has come. He is one of the renowned laparoscopic, endoscopic surgeon. And particularly, artificial intelligence has got a greater role to play in robotic surgeries. Because robotic surgery, because see, ultimately the brain is supervised. It can take about 10,000 terabyte of information inside. So brain is the supercomputer that always this thing. So most important, these are all artificial intelligence-driven devices, app-based devices, or even Bluetooth-based devices. Certainly will be of a great value addition for evaluation. For also, you can do teleconsultation, telemonitoring of patients, personalized care and all. So life is all about ABCD actually. See, when small kids, ABCD is same, different from that of an adult. A for apple, we say B for bat, C for cat, D for dog, something like that. So then you go to the modern younger generation, A for Android, B for Bluetooth, C for computer, and D for dance. So that is modern generation. Then you go to older generation. Of course, now the definition of old age has changed. So because, in fact, government classifies old age above 60, they call it as senior citizens. So because the average lifespan is almost touching 70, it should be 65 to 75 is considered young old. I think we are all young old. Then 75 to 85 is old. Then more than 85 is a grand old, something like that. So then again ABCD, if you follow the same formula in the old age, A for arthritis, B for blood pressure, then C for cholesterol, and D for diabetes. So I think it's all ABCD life, but different explanations. Certainly, because the accuracy of these tests depends how much of data. You suppose if you have fed about 20,000, 1 lakh ECGs of different diseases. So if any ECG comes, what you are going to feed within this 2 lakh ECG, it recognizes. Suppose if particular ECG you are feeding in, if it is outside these 2 lakh samples you have fed, then it may be wrong. But definitely, decision making is more important than incisions, and decision making is more important than intervention. And our goal is treatment should not be more harmful than the disease. Treatment should not be more harmful than the disease. So certainly these devices will be of great help for initial screening, making early diagnosis, even for follow-up also. I think nowadays you can have this ECG and you can always put it on WhatsApp to your consultant. And even if there is a palpitation, we can just do all these things. So, and particularly this blood sugar is a routine thing nowadays. So you can always have these equipments, but particularly apartments, because during this election campaigning, I have seen, I have traveled a lot in Bangalore. I don't know where Bangalore begins, where Bangalore ends. I don't know where Bangalore begins and Bangalore ends. And each apartment, bigger apartments have got a population of 8 to 10,000. Yeah, 10,000. So there, particularly, they have those conference room. They have there certainly they have those. I mean, sports or gymnastic rooms are there. There they can keep all those things and they can keep checking all those parameters, because early diagnosis always improves their lifespan and a better treatment can be given. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that insightful speech. I now request Dr. S. Sachidanand to speak a few words to address the gathering.
Good evening, one and all. Dignitaries on the dais and dignitaries off the dais. What a good evening is today. The reason being, we are inaugurating 4 new kiosks which are going to revolutionize the healthcare services being provided across the country. And none other than the person who inaugurated is Dr. C.N. Manjunath, my good friend. I'm sure this will definitely take off in a big way. And Swastha technology, it's my privilege to congratulate you, each one of you. I've been interacting with them for the last 2 years, Balaji, Sudhindra, Anil, and others. They have done it. Initially when they're conceptualizing it, I had this thing to interact with them, but then this is seeing the light of the day. I really congratulate you for the bringing out in a big way. That's really. And I wish you all that the success that this kiosk would bring to you. Okay. I'm particularly happy about the fact that being from a government setup, I worked, myself and Dr. Manjunath both are in government setups, where we see large number of patients, unlike corporate or other things, where you seek appointment and then go and see the doctor at a convenient time. In government setups, there is no end to number of patients who come to you. You have to see the OPD ends when the last patient is seen. So it may be post afternoon or even up to 4 o'clock. So there's no limit at all. We work in a unit system. Monday there's a particular unit, Tuesday there's another unit, Wednesday third unit, and like that 4 or 5 units are there. Imagine a patient who walks to the hospital, stands in a long queue. By the time he goes and meets the doctor, it's already 3-4 hours. He's tired, irrespective of what problem he has got. Of course, if the emergency is there, he'll be shifted to emergency room. But otherwise, he has to walk through, wait till he meets the doctor. And after that, doctors examine him and then prescribe some investigations. He has to go back to the laboratory and then give his blood tests, which may not be done the same day because he already spent half the morning in the queue. So he has to come back a second day. Second day when he comes back, it's a different unit. Doctors are different. The previous unit doctor is in the rounds or in the operation theater or something. So it's very, very difficult. Sometimes patients get fed up. This is where I see the utility of this particular thing, what you have just brought out. The patients can get their investigations, or common investigations, and by the time they go to the doctor, they have everything. They have the height, weight, vitals, they have the basic investigations done. So the doctor can go through that, come to a differential diagnosis and advise tests which can be done at a leisurely period later on, and then the reappointment can be done. So that way, it saves a lot of time for the patient, saves a lot of inconvenience to the doctors also, and it's so useful. So I really congratulate you. This machine should definitely be a revolutionary thing in the health science fields. It is said that we were just jokingly talking with each other. Brigadier Sanjeev Chopra, he said marriages are made in heaven. Then I said, just now Dr. Manjunath mentioned, marriages are made in laboratories. In future, as not only horoscopes are useful when these technologies were not available. Our ancestors had the ability to analyze or link or guess that the prospective bride or bridegroom, what characters they had. Probably they used to see it through astrology and planetary motions. Now we have technology. Technology can predict as to what can happen to a person if his gene code is given. We have genomics, genes, genetic therapy, gene analysis and things like that, which is possible now. A person, if you give a drop of blood or whatever, it may be one of his tissues, we can get the complete genetic map of the individual. And this genetic map, if it's analyzed, it can predict to a great extent, to a large extent, when he's going to become bald, when he's going to have a heart attack, when he's going to have diabetes. So the genetic makeup can be analyzed much, much earlier. And that's why probably don't be surprised in future if brides and bridegrooms are interviewed, they have to come with the file, laboratory file, along with the horoscopes as well, maybe. They match that. So that is the technology that's happening. Today, no field can escape from technology. Every single field is being invaded by technology. And in health sciences, it is a marriage of convenience. There is no divorce at all. The relationship continues. And today, Dr. Manjunath will agree with me, when we were students, MBBS students, it was such a, the teaching was bedside. We used to learn, the nuances of medicine through the teachers. They used to teach us. We used to pick up the signs and symptoms and then learn. So we were just getting those information through experiencing those things. But nowadays, everything else all this can be, got on a machine, got on a computer. For example, heartbeat, we had to really struggle to know the, the rhythm of the heart, then the various murmurs of the heart. The professor used to say he has got aortic regurgitation. We used to say yes because we couldn't appreciate what he was saying. We used to, just for the fear of the professor. But now it is very, very simple. You put a stethoscope, electronic stethoscope on the heart. Everything is the whole thing, sound you can hear. You can see the waves, and the diagnosis becomes so easy. You need not strain. So that is the level that we have reached today. And that sort of technology is there everywhere. To give a simple example, there is a complete body scanner available. You go stand there, of course, naked. It analyzes from head to toe and then gives you a report saying that you have a mole on the right cheek. This mole is benign. It is not cancerous. You have a mole on the abdomen. You have to be careful about it. There is a probable change occurring in that mole. Keep a watch on it. Maybe 1 or 2 years later, it may turn malignant. There's a mole on the face. It's likely to be melanoma. Usually, melanoma is a very big problem in Australia and other countries where sunlight is very high. And in India, skin cancers are more common, squamous cell carcinoma and basal carcinoma, and that can be also diagnosed. So a simple scanning machine which scans the entire body gives you a report of everything that is there on the skin. Artificial intelligence is another important application is dermatology. Because dermatology is a field of visuals. You have clinical images, you have histopathological images, you have dermatoscopic images. These, when fed into the computers, it analyzes over a period of time and matures. But as Dr. Manjunath mentioned, more number of data you feed, it becomes more mature and more accurate, more specific. That is what. There have been innumerable number of studies done comparing between human ability, human cognitive capabilities, and with the computers. Computers have outdone human human capabilities. But as Dr. Manjunath mentioned, it does not replace. Many times, they've also said that doctors are more humane, that human touch should be there. But the machines have outperformed that also in the experiments. It has been more kind to the patient than the doctors could have been there. So that is also there. But ultimately, the patient satisfaction is there when only a doctor touches the patient, talks to the patient, that human interaction happens, which doesn't happen in a machine. So ultimately, doctors or others should not be feared or scared about such machines, because these machines are there to improve the efficiency. These machines are there to diagnose better. These machines are there to treat better. And overall efficiency of the healthcare is improved. It does not replace doctors, but definitely doctors who are not tech savvy will be replaced by doctors who are tech savvy. So that is the ultimate thing. And these days, we are now, I also congratulate about the menstrual hygiene that they have taken care of. India is a very rural-based country, a lot of girls. We do give menstrual, information about menstrual hygiene to young girls. There are a lot of diseases which can be avoided by just using these sanitary pads and making it available freely all over the places, in all common places where many people, many footfalls are there. Definitely that's going to revolutionize. It reminds me of the movie that one of the famous character Akshay Kumar has done, Padman. It also sends the same message. So I congratulate the entire team for having conceptualized this, and I'm sure it will be of great use to girls, women, and also elderly people for using them in a hygienic way. And third thing is about the machine itself, which gives you a complete body mass index, weight, height, and all. Today, Sudhindra has very carefully selected me and invited me as a guest of honor. He has one example, a perfect man, Dr. C.N. Manjunath, whose parameters are very, very perfect. And I was hesitant to check on the machine, but then probably they thought even I should, a person on the other end with a very high body mass index and the parameters gone RE should also test. I tested, everything is accurate, and the machine has passed. Okay, it has given me that. So definitely, this is also another thing that will benefit the patients a lot, and I wish you all good luck. I'm sure these machines would definitely revolutionize the healthcare services, not only in India, but in the entire country. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. S. Sachidanand, for those wonderful words. I now request Brigadier Dr. Sanjeev Chopra to speak a few words to address the gathering.
Yeah, a very big Jai Hind to all of you. Honorable Dr. Manjunath and all respected members sitting on the stage, our respected strategic leadership team of IB-Track Solutions, and all the guests who are present today right now in this particular house. A very big Jai Hind to all of you from my side. Since I'm amazed, I'm very sure all of you would also be amazed what a man in uniform is doing here. I would just take 2 minutes of yours, because after such a great dignitaries having spoken on medical science and infusion of technology, I think I as a layman have no business to speak on this. But I'll definitely take 2 minutes because I've told to speak. You see, what happens is, as far as our profession in the Indian Army is concerned, we say that we live by chance, we love by choice, and we kill by profession. When I say we kill by profession, we kill our enemies, and we protect our own citizens who are our Bharatvasis. Now, this particular case reminds me that I've recently written a research paper on infusion of artificial intelligence in futuristic warfare technique. Now that is how to kill the enemy using artificial intelligence and robotics. But here we are, how to save mankind for having better healthcare solutions and ensuring that loop gets completed. What we use that term nowadays, work from home. So any patient sitting at home can do all these kind of parameters and lab tests which were being done in erstwhile era in all those pathological labs. And as Dr. Manjunath has said, this can be sent on a WhatsApp to a doctor for consultation, and even your medicines can be delivered at home. So this is a complete loop of 360 degrees. I think a round of applause for IB-Track Solutions. They have done a wonderful job. And this is more pertinent to those areas which are remote areas in India, like Northeast, like J&K, and like rural population, where the pathological labs and the kind of specialized hospitals are not available at the doorstep. And also, my Indian Army soldiers who are deployed at the border of India-China, where the temperature goes up to minus 45 degrees Celsius, where the oxygen is already 50% less, and then these are the kind of equipments which they are available at their premises where they are deployed. I am very sure this is going to be of a great help, great assistance if they are physically and mentally fit. We are there to safeguard the nation from all kind of borders and all kind of threat perceptions from our enemies. I would only say one thing more, that this is one apt example of utilization of technology, and that to latest technology in the field of preventive healthcare. And preventive healthcare is better than cure. So therefore, if we are taking our parameters on a regular basis, I'm very sure this kind of technology will be of great use. And those areas which are still the fill in the blanks, which we need a needle to have a test, whether it's hemoglobin or anything to do with the blood tests, like TLC, DLC, and all those kind of bacterial infections or viral infections which we check, and of course sugar. And I'm very sure they would have a machine tomorrow which will be able to do that in a needleless manner. I'm very sure they will be working on the same. Thank you very much. I'm here only to get myself motivated and motivate the team of IB-Track Solution. And my respect to all the dignitaries who are sitting on the stage, and wishing you good luck for bringing such a great technology into preventive healthcare. My thanks to Dr. Anil, Mr. Sudhendra, Balaji, Mr. Uday, and all the team of IB Tech Solution. Thank you very much for calling me.
Thank you, sir. I now call upon Dr. Ramesh Makam to please address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here today. In fact, I was almost about to miss. I got into the operation theater at 7 in the morning. Then now at 6:30 I got out, and then Uday called up. He said, "Doctor, where are you?" I never realized it was 6:30. I thought I'm still in the afternoon. Thank you for inviting me here. Today, it's indeed a greater pleasure to have Dr. Manjunath here, who's my beloved teacher 40 years ago, and he remains to be a teacher. And Dr. Sachinanand was our Vice Chancellor also, and a brilliant clinician, apart from being a great academician. Today, I am happy about these kiosks. In fact, 20 years ago, Uday gave me a kiosk for trainings. I was using it for training surgeons. We deployed a kiosk in a digital library in Bangalore Medical College. Then we have an institute to train surgeons in laparoscopic surgery. So we were using a touchscreen kiosk to show them videos. They could play. We had thousands of videos in it, so they could just choose and then listen and watch videos to train themselves. But today, I think this has gone great strides today. And I think it's a great time to be here, because it's not just the technology that has reached there, but people also have realized that they could use such things, because we were exposed to talking to people using digital devices during COVID. And now almost 50% of my patients do teleconsultations. They don't have to come, because in Bangalore, you know how difficult it is to travel. Having said that, my son is a gastroenterologist, a surgical gastroenterologist. His classmate is doing a residency in Germany. Last week, she had a very severe pain. She had a stone in the kidney, and it was excruciating pain. And then she tried to meet a urologist. And in her own hospital, where she is working, she got an appointment 3 months later. So that's the state of affairs everywhere. If you go to UK, you will have to wait for 6 months. If you go to Canada, you may have to wait for a year. That's the type of things happening in the rest of the world. People in India don't realize what they're getting. In fact, this is fantastic. And today, this is called point-of-care technologies, because wherever you are, you have your own parameters coming up. Once I was in Bombay airport, and then a person started having a little sweating, and then 5 minutes later, he arrested. And it was unfortunate that in that 5 minutes, if we had something to diagnose him, he would have been alive. So I think time matters a lot. And today, it could be in a railway station, it could be in a bus stand, it could be in an apartment, it could be in assisted living places, old age homes. So people can connect to doctors, they can have their tests, they don't have to travel. So this is a real great boon. And today we know that a whole lot of diseases are increasing. And if we have diagnostics, we definitely don't hesitate to test ourselves. And then we definitely can keep ourselves healthy. A whole lot of population, almost 25% of population is having metabolic syndromes, that is hypertension, diabetes, dyslipidemia. And today, not many people control themselves properly. If there is an access, supposing in every metro station we have something like this, where they can keep checking their blood pressure, they can keep checking their blood sugar, they can keep sending the message to their doctor, it will be fantastic, because immediately there will be some dosage changes advised by the doctor that keeps coming to them. Having said that, today we are getting into a huge digital revolution, as you all know, and we are having a health registry by the government of India. We thought Aadhaar card was fantastic. We were the only country where we had retinal scans, everything database. But today, all health records of every citizen of India is going to be archived and get into a registry. And if we have these kiosks, people from these kiosks, all the data of everybody can keep getting transferred, and it becomes so easy to have a national health registry and maintain it and monitor. So even the government can do a whole lot of things. Let's not talk about just villages. Here in Bangalore itself, if I want a rheumatologist, where do I go? If I want a neurologist today, I have to wait for many days. So these things will definitely help a great deal. Small helps here and there, but then it means a lot. It may mean life and death to a person. It may mean quality of life to somebody. It may mean good health, maintaining good health for somebody else. So I congratulate them for having done such a wonderful thing. And I know this is just the beginning, because technology is just happening. What is there today is the past for tomorrow. So we are going to definitely have a whole lot of new things coming. They're trying to say, in fact, Google was talking about doing a retinal scan and then saying, maybe 5 years from now, will you develop diabetes? Will you develop a stroke? So somebody standing in front of a kiosk can probably get such information using artificial intelligence tomorrow. And I definitely know such things will be added on to these kiosks. And this is a great effort, huge novel idea, and they've really done a fantastic job. Congratulations to you again, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Archana Jayadev to speak a few words to address the gathering.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here with such distinguished guests and good speakers. I think they have taken all my points. And so I hope you all have had a healthy that evening, because too much of let's say the stress factor. So I will just keep it simple to the pink kiosks. So I would like to congratulate the entire team for a successful conceiving and the executing of these products. And I'm sure all, they are going to be of immense benefit to the public of these times, because if, I am sure the working women are much more now than earlier. And as a woman, I feel that menstrual hygiene is an important aspect, because this has been neglected in our, I'm, sure, though there are very few women here, I'm, sure that you all agree with me. And I think that there's a strong need that, that is to be addressed by most of the organizations. And since May 28th is observed as the Menstrual Hygiene Day all over the world, I wish that this product should be installed in maximum number of places, and its use should be encouraged, because there is no point of seeing the kiosk and not using it. And I would also like to give a suggestion that if there is a hygiene wash which is available also in small sachets, can also be added with an extra charge. It's just a small tip from my end. And I just wish the Swastha Tech Innovations and the IV Track solutions my very best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Sharanya to hand over the bouquets to our guest of honors. Sharanya to hand over the bouquet to Dr. C.N. Manjunath. Thank you, Sharanya. I now call upon Rakshita to hand over the bouquet to Dr. Ramesh Makam. Thank you, Rakshita. The next part of the event is an open house, question answer session. The person who's raising the hand first will have the chance to ask the question. Kindly go ahead and please ask your questions. Request Mr. Uday, Sudhindra and Sia Balaji to be present on the stage to answer the questions.
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's nice initiative and it's an applied aspect and it's got launched by Manjunath sir. I think it's a great privilege for the society also. Thing is, all I want to say is I am also the president of Private Hospitals Association. I'm literally looking at how the hospital kiosk will going to work and how we can use it for screening in the community.
Okay. One is, see, whenever the OPD patient comes in, you need to do registration. So the registration does take a lot of time. So they have to fill in the form or help desk will fill in all the details. So instead of waiting for their turn to come, they can go to this kiosk, fill in all the details, and they get a QR code for whatever the initial consultation fee is. So they can pay the fee on the kiosk itself. So thereby, for you, it's an advantage is this works 24/7, number one. And when the guy is filling his form, he won't make any mistakes. Normally what happens is when the person is filling on your form, they might make spelling mistakes or the number may be, mobile number may be different, all that. So all the things can be erased on this. And instead of wasting time just sitting, he'll fill in a form, so that means the time is, not wasted. And once this data is already there, your MR is created, means medical record is created. So you don't have to refill in again for an MR. And also the whatever consultation fee. So you don't have to reconcile about your payment because it automatically gets into your own account. Then they can directly go to the consultation, finish the consultation, and assuming the doctor asks them to go for some more tests, they finish the test in the lab, they come back to the same kiosk, print their own report. So thereby the report also they get from the machine. So you don't have to, like Balaji other time was mentioning, that you don't have to print the report and keep it, and the patient comes later on, you don't find the report, again you reprint. All that hassles is not at all there. So because the reason why I'm saying this is we had given a kiosk, a hospital called Anupama Hospital in Hyderabad about 2 years back. They've been using this kiosk like anything. And other day the doctor Ram Bhupal Rao, who is the owner of this hospital, he calls me and says, this machine really saved my life. I was wondering what happened, doctor. Then he's saying, Ramanami came, some people went off. Then Ramadan came, some people went off. But kiosk was the only machine that was working. So now you know how the kiosk can come in handy during these kind of things.
Yeah. Only one suggestion is it is good, like, if you directly integrate with Aadhaar, it saves a lot of time and the whole issue. Yes, consenting and that part, like, need to be looked at it. But if interventions of sir and all the leaders can make a difference to make it much more simpler because all the data is already available, sir.
Unfortunately, government doesn't believe in giving access to Aadhaar. In fact, we have tried. Yeah, no, thing is we can only just take the number, we cannot validate it.
No, why when DigiLocker, what's that? Digi Yatra can do it. Why when Digi Yatra can do it, why can't for health, sir?
I think we need to address this to the government. Probably
Yes,
they'll
yes,
be able
that's
to
the
answer
whole
better.
reason, like, I'm just putting it across the seat to sir.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Actually, if you have, what we can do is if you can get an access to Aadhaar, just by Aadhaar number, we don't need any of your data. That thing will give us enough data so that, for the patient also it's helpful and for the doctor also it's helpful. Both ways is going to be helpful, but unfortunately there's a, privacy policy.
Just to let you know that we are actively keeping our eyes open on that. We're trying to make sure that the day it's available to us, we will implement that. So that's a guarantee, if I may use the word.
My name is Tyagraj. I congratulate the whole team, and it's a great idea and what do you call a great boon for the diagnostic field itself. The only thing is, so far, if you go to Anand Diagnostics and get these things done, what's the cost? And if it is done here, what will be the cost? Is there any idea you can give us?
Yeah, I can give this. In fact, we really work with these kind of parameters to find out what will be the cost. There are two aspects. One is you take time to go to Anand Diagnostics, number one. You wait for your turn to come, and you pay the fees. The whole thing might cost you around 300 to 500 rupees. Here it's going to cost you only $100.
Oh, congrats. Thank you very much.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Vinayak Kangli from Chanakya University. I would like to know what is the market price for these four products you have launched today?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
What is the cost of these?
Cost?
Yeah.
Okay, now all these products are scalable. This is a basic model, but it's again scalable to cardio and it can be scalable to gluco, various configurations. So it depends on what exactly you're looking at, but it starts from 1.5 lakhs, goes upwards.
Thank you. Thank you.
Word of caution for the public is just because parameters are normal, that doesn't mean they don't have a disease. So these parameters can be normal, but I have seen some people having normal heart rate, normal blood pressure at 7 o'clock in the evening, and he has died at 8 o'clock. So I think the symptoms need to be given. This is just for initial screening. So one should not take shelter under the, should not a normal report.
Right.
So that's very, very important. So particularly, this is a real problem. We have what is called idiot syndrome in this world, in this modern technology. There is a syndrome called idiot syndrome, that is internet-derived information obstructing treatment. That is called idiot syndrome. Many times, so-called intellectuals get into more problems than the ignorant people. Ignorant people they go by the doctor's advice and they usually get the correct treatment. So in this country, those people you are using both the sides of the brain, they get into problem. So if they are using only one side of the brain, I think they are fine. So many times they go on arguing this one, and they come with tons of information downloaded from the net, and they want to be treated. They don't allow the doctor to exercise his wisdom, exercise his professional skill. So I think this is where problem is. These are all parameters initial for health screening, and that doesn't mean just because these parameters are normal, if they have symptoms, they always, because many times it so happens, it has happened. Suppose somebody, when they get heart attack, not everybody gets chest pain, and some of them get pain in the stomach region, and it gives an impression like a gastritis. So heart attack can manifest like gastritis, can manifest like acidity. So I think this is where one has to be cautious, but these are all wonderful devices for screening the population or mass screening. And particularly, see, when it is abnormal, it is more useful. When parameters are abnormal, these things are very useful. When it is normal, you cannot exclude.
Right.
It's me, dietitian. I just want to know, like, how much accuracy, like usually you glucometer and all we test, if you see the normal reading and the lab value, 20 to 30 difference will be there. Like fasting it is showing 130 means in the lab it may show little more or less, right? So if you come to the accuracy of the result, how it will be close to that?
There are two aspects for this.
Yeah.
See, normally when you take reading, there are something called parallax error, human errors, these are all. Okay, normally the machine gives out whatever it sees, that's it. Machine has got absolutely no problem. It's not our machine, any machine in the world. But the way we see it also matters, number one. Okay, for example, two places you set the same result, you will never get. There will be variation. Again, especially when it comes to digital technology, it's matter of microvolts. Okay, all our machines run on 3 volts. If there is 0.01 volt difference is there, your reading is different. Okay, so we normally say, we never say 100% accurate, we say 96.7%.
Thank you.
Regarding this blood sugar, see, with a glucometer you take capillary blood, okay? You prick the pulp of the finger. But in the lab you get the venous blood. So there is normally a difference of 10 to 20, even because you are different tests. You are checking here capillary blood, here you are taking from the vein. So that difference. No, this is the explanation, because both the sources of blood is different.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Any more questions?
I wanted to know, I think they can all have the checkup.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we welcome all of you to come and test yourselves here, please.
There also, not an issue. Can I make a request?
Okay, so we'll move on. I request Dr. Anil Chinnabandar to hand over the mementos to Dr. C.N. Manjunath, followed by Ramesh Makam, Brigadier Sanjeev Chopra. Dr. C.N. Manjunath. Next, to Dr. Ramesh Makam. Next, followed by Brigadier Sanjeev Chopra. Thank you, sir. I request Mr. M.S. Arun to hand over the memento to Dr. S. Sachidanand and the memento to Dr. Archana Jaydev. To Archana Jaydev. I request Dr. Anil Chinnabandar to propose the vote of thanks.
Namaskara Ilrigu. Good evening. It's been a great pleasure actually to have all of you. Especially we were complaining in Bangalore about the hot weather and very stuffy weather and all that. Unfortunately, it has started raining actually for the last few days, and hopefully the rain will hold on for some more time until we all get back to our houses, and then it can rain. Anyway, in the middle of all of these things, I think some things specials have actually happened today. In fact, one of the things is after Dr. C.N. Manjunath, actually when we met him a couple of months ago, he was unsure, and despite getting a positive actually invitation from 2 prime ministers and some of the most powerful political actually heavyweights in India, he was still kind of looking at should I or should I not. And then during which we were kind of trying to urge him, saying that, sir, please, you may have a much larger canvas and so on. So he has been so kind to us. He's been spending so much of time despite being such a busy practitioner, such a busy in fact professional, and all of a sudden he has also become a very heavy, very busy politician as well. So we were seeing him with actually the prime ministers, ex-prime ministers and all the political heavyweights. In fact, despite all that, we actually had to kind of shift the dates also to accommodate his schedule, because he was very keen and we were very enthusiastic to have him actually into this launch event. So a sincere and a very, very big thank you, sir, Dr. Manjunath, for actually kind of, blessing the occasion and being with us tonight. Thank you very much, actually. I'm sure, you still have time between now and, the result date, some more time to watch some movies and all that, right? Thank you. Dr. Sachidanand, actually, despite all your busy schedule and so on, so you actually made it to, in fact, bless us, bless us and also bless the occasion as well. So thank you very much for actually joining us, and then sincere thanks from all of us, actually. Brigadier Sanjeev, I think, you have come all the way from Guwahati. I can't actually explain how happy we are. In fact, it's been an honor to have you, in fact, with us. And you've come with ma'am as well. So, thank you for coming all the way to just motivate us. And then what a better person can be there other than the brigadier from Indian Army. Thank you very much. Dr. Ramesh Makam, despite, I can't imagine a 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock shift at all. I don't know how you guys do that. The doctors and medical professionals, I have few doctors at home, but fortunately they're all general physicians and also they're all, surgeons in fact. But then 7 in the morning till the time Uday talks to you. I don't know how you guys can do that, but thank you very much actually for joining us, and it's been an honor to have you also. Dr. Archana, actually you've been in fact with us even in the previous events also. I think, it's been a great, blessing and great actually participation from your side. Thank you for being such a motivational person. Dr. Archana, actually Jaydev, thank you for being with us and with your, family as well. So it's great to have you actually. Thank you very much for, joining us. And but not the last but not the least actually, all the audience, who have made it on a Friday evening. I'm sure, you definitely have a lot of exciting things on a Friday evening. So if you look at any working professionals, I'm sure Friday evenings are the most sweetest ones, because that's when your weekend starts. Those of you who are having actually a 5-day week, right? So I think, Friday evenings are special for all of us. So thank you, a big thank you to joining, for having joined actually tonight. And please stay with us. And then, if you have any more questions, any queries, any suggestions, we would be more than happy to kind of, receive it from you and also share our experiences and then our, side of view with you as well. Also, I would like to mention a special thanks to our IB Track and Swastha teams. You have done a wonderful job, I think, all along. And Sharanya and team, I think you've done a great job. So thank you for all of you. And thank you for all my, partners, in the business as well. I think it's been a great launch event for us. And thank you once again. Good night.
Good evening, everybody. It's me, Sunita, Dr. Sunita, dietitian. I'm really surprised. I have checked the value. It has shown perfectly. Like my weight is 65 and BMI is 24, and height and water percentage, fat percentage, it is nowhere away from the real readings. Thank you very much. As a dietitian, I would like to tell, apart from all this, prevention is better than cure. So always maintain ideal weight, height in centimeter. If you are 150, at least 50 kgs. If you are 170, minus 100, 70 kgs. See, you need not to do rocket science to maintain your ideal weight. Drink plenty of water, detox water. Instead of tea, coffee, don't start your day with the detox water. If you start, it is a good start. Have more. If your plate is 100%, have at least 30% raw vegetable, 30% little cooked, and 40% protein, and 10 to 15% carbs. If you take within 1 month, you can lose 40 kg. Like 1 month, 4 kgs, you can definitely lose. That is the there. So I just request, if you maintain ideal weight, definitely you can have a good health. Thank you.